get into you
Oh,
down the
stop.
door.
Okay.
Start what? What?
Can you see my face?
Please don't fart.
Welcome to the No Name Sunday Show. And we thought we'd try every week to master a new yoga pose. Do you feel like you've mastered it?
I can't straighten my legs. And I'm getting incredibly dizzy in the head. I feel very, very faint.
Don't try this at home, folks.
No. Morning. Where do we go now? How do we stop the camera? Oh, we have to break the pose.
Break.
Okay, this is
What
a
is this
this
pose?
is a
This
couple's
isn't
cobra pose.
Is this a Kama Sutra pose?
No, it's a couple's cobra pose. Don't try this at home, folks. Right, Mark, what next?
Well, it's not what's next, but what's coming up.
What's coming up?
What's coming up is
What is coming up?
Well, you're cooking a remarkable, tasty pizza, isn't it?
I'm cooking a pan pizza.
Yeah.
I'm cooking a gorgeous New York cheesecake with a blueberry topping and a vanilla lemon twist.
You're distracted, aren't you, by what's coming up?
Go on, Mark.
NADIA is talking us through another classic in Book of the Week, and the teens, well, Maddie specifically, is going to be sharing some memes with us. And your dad?
And my dad is doing Teddy Tour.
And what's he talking about?
Yay! I don't know.
You can't remember.
My back is burned.
I'm going to
It's
fart.
broken.
I'm going to fart.
No, Mark! Oh my God.
Chi-chi. She's trying to be like Toffee. Okay, darling.
She's guarding her esophagus.
Are you delivering anything as beautiful as that in your first dish of the day?
Yeah, first dish of the day is a gorgeous pizza that you can make in your frying pan.
Is that,
Super easy, homemade dough, bloody delish.
is that why they call it a pan-fried pizza?
They don't call it a pan-fried pizza, they call it a deep pan pizza.
Oh, sorry. Beautiful image, and then The Walking Dead.
This pizza is, I love this recipe because it's so adaptable. The bread that I'm going to show you how to make in a minute, you can use in all sorts of ways. This is a really good, easy tomato sauce. I really hate the tomato sauce, pizza sauce, pasta sauce you buy in the jars. I just don't think they ever taste as good. And when you see how easy it is to make your own. So I'm going to use, now don't forget, this is quite a lot of olive oil, but there's no meat, there's no cream, there's nothing else going in it. You don't want it bubbling at all. So we're just warming that up. I'm just going to turn the heat down. So I'm putting in lots of garlic because my girls have just taken the dogs for a walk, and when they come back they're going to eat this. You don't have to put any garlic if you don't like, but I think it would be a shame. You could just put just half a clove if you just like a very faint taste of garlic. So I'm just gonna watch this. So you see, I've got my my oil quite low there. So you've got to watch it. Don't take your eye off it. Keep stirring it. Maybe lift it off the oil a bit so the oil cools down a bit. Oh wow, Mark, how garlicky does that smell now?
Smells so garlicky, Nad.
So this is a tomato garlic sauce. You can make a huge batch and keep it in your fridge. Put it in the freezer. I suppose in the fridge it would last. If you've got it in about a week, 5 days, something like that. And you can use it on a sauce, you could use it over steak. So now I'm putting in my glorious tomatoes that I really do think are worth that little extra. Stirring it in with the garlic. Oh, yum. So I'm going to have a lot more than I need for the pizza. So you can just use 1 tin. Add some salt, very important. Do not forget the salt. Just got to turn that oven off. I've just got something in the oven. Now I'm looking at that and I want it a bit oilier than that. So I'm going to add a bit more olive oil. Right, now you could add at this point some mixed herbs, some oregano, a bay leaf. You know what, the other thing is, if you've got this already in the fridge, you can, say you come in and you go, oh, I want a spag bowl really quickly. You just fry up your beef and you just add this tomato sauce to it. So it's really good. Now on a Sunday, if you're mooching about a bit, why not make a massive batch and put it in the fridge? So I'm just putting about a teaspoon of oregano in. because we're making pizza, and I think a bit of oregano is really nice with a pizza. Little pinch of sugar. Always put a little pinch of sugar.
Ooh.
Again, I learnt that from our Italian chef. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I make the bread base. Do you want me to go?
So does that just stay cooking?
Yep, just on a low heat, bubbling and popping. So now we're going to make our bread. So I've got 250 grams of self-raising flour. I'm going to add a teaspoon of baking powder, which I'm sure you're surprised about for a pizza bread, but I want a kind of puffy, yummy, scrummy, puffed up bread. So, teaspoon of baking powder, teaspoon of salt, 200 grams of plain yogurt. I've got Greek yogurt here, but you can use whatever you want. But the one thing I would say is there's more protein in Greek yogurt than there is in any other yogurt. So I'm just going to give that a stir. You're not going to believe it. Are you going to actually believe what I'm going to say now? What am I going to say, Mark?
I think you're about to say something along the lines of, it's almost already done.
It's almost already done.
Wow.
Almost done the bread. So whilst I just bring it together, what I'm going to do is just put on my pan on a very low heat to heat up, because that's where we're going to cook the pasta.
Meanwhile, that's bubbling
One
along.
way, that's bubbling. Oh, is it gone out? That's bubbling away. And the yogurt makes it really soft and elastic and delicious.
Yeah, I never thought you added yogurt to bread.
Yeah. Right, there's no kneading with this bread. We're just bringing it together and then it's ready. Put your hand over the pan and see if you can feel the heat.
Yeah! Yeah.
Oh, is it that hot?
No.
Well, that's no good. We're trying to tell people how hot it is.
Oh, sorry.
So the bread is ready.
Okay.
Put some flour down. Right, so now I'm just going to roll it out. Oh, and it's really nice and springy, and actually we could probably put the pan back on now because we're nearly ready.
The girls are back with the dogs.
So the
Say hello.
Hi. The
Hi.
girls are back, but they didn't. I had a rustic edged pizza, but they didn't want that, so I've just cut it so we've got a more.
Don't make us sound like we
No. You said, oh, can it just be right? No, they weren't. They were very sweet about it. So it's just going to go into the really hot pan like that, and it will start to puff up. Now the thing is, this will then go under the grill. So it's just 1 pan pizza. Now look, you see how the oil is separated from the tomato? That's how you know it's ready.
I didn't want to mention that, but I've noticed that.
But that means it's ready. So that's now ready to use in a spaghetti bolognese, to use just with pasta, to use as a pizza base.
You didn't call me back.
I know, I forgot that I hadn't put any oil on the underside, so I've just turned it over and put a bit of oil on the first side, and now I'm just putting a little bit on the top. See how it's puffing? Look how it's puffing up, that's so nice. Flour mayonnaise.
Action!
Okay, so I cooked it it's probably about 3 minutes on each side, but to be honest, I would usually make this in 2 and make it thinner, and then if you make more, they'll cook quicker. So we're ready for our gorgeous tomato base.
Base, tomato base.
And this is, if you don't like cheese, if you're vegan, you could use coconut yogurt instead of the Greek yogurt, and you could just put some veggies on it at this point and not put the mozzarella.
Oh, are you going to then put the whole frying pan in the grill?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
It's really cool.
That's so flash, but will it fit?
Okay, so I'm going to put my mozzarella. And of course, you can put ham, you can put pepperoni, you can put salami, you can put mushrooms. What I would say though is if you're going to put mushrooms on it, just take that extra time. Take a couple of minutes to fry them first and drain them. Right, okay, so we're ready. I'm going to add just a little more oregano. Look at this, girls. This is going on the grill. This is going to be ready in 2 minutes for you.
Action!
In it goes. Woo! Can't open it. Can you open the oven for me? No, not that one. The other one. Thank you. And it goes under the grill. Should take about 5 minutes.
And cut.
Stop mucking about with that, Mark. It's burning.
I love this
I'm
tree!
going to get it out without you filming it then.
No.
No, you can't.
What?
Oh, look at that.
Oh my
Now
god.
that's what you call a pan pizza. Girls,
Oh,
look.
that's what they mean by pan pizza. Oh.
Isn't that bloody heavenly?
Oh. Get the pizza slice out.
Wow.
Come on, girls.
I made a sauce with extra garlic, so it's like a pizza, but it's a garlic
Yeah, I
bread as
could
well.
smell that garlic when I came in. I couldn't sniff out garlic from anywhere.
You love garlic,
my
don't you?
superpower.
Lots of kids don't like garlic, but you like garlic.
No, most kids love
I don't
garlic.
like when people got garlic breath, but I like eating it here.
Yeah, never eat it in a day you've got a date.
You do all the time.
How do we want to photograph this?
Why don't you have a
That's it.
pizza cutter?
Do you want it in the pan?
Yeah, in the pan.
Shit.
And I'll do it. Can you pass me my phone, Scooch? This is one of the problems with cooking food, isn't it, girls? Over the years, you've had to wait for photos to be
They
taken.
get
Yeah, no,
starving
this is like back
with,
in the
with
column
cookery
days.
books,
Yeah.
column
It's
days.
back like this is like back in the column days. When
Yeah.
we did the column.
Okay.
You ready, girls?
Yeah. What pizza cutter?
Can't find the pizza cutter.
Pizza cutter. Oh, that is good, bro.
That breathing you do is really weird, babe.
He's got asthma.
No, it's through his nose. He goes,
I do the same. so I
sounds
can't
like a
breathe.
weirdo.
Manny
I
breathes
can't
so
breathe.
heavily.
Action!
Yeah.
Thank you. Ooh, ha!
Very good.
Is it good?
That is really good.
Is it doughy and soft and gorgeous?
And guys, when you make the
That's so good.
when you make the dough, if it feels a bit dry, because different flours are different, sometimes you might need to add 50 grams more yogurt. So have a feel. And if it's not feeling soft once you've mixed it in, then add a bit more yogurt. Oh my god, it's so good. And I mustn't eat any more of it. I had a tiny slither, but I want all of it. I think, Mark, this is a perfect moment, don't you think?
What?
To go over to the memes that we recorded with the girls earlier in the week.
Yeah, they were.
We do it
fine.
now?
Yeah.
Whilst
let's
they're
do it
chomping
now.
pizza.
Whilst they're quiet.
So hot.
It's a big day for Mads today.
It is. She's got her first proper gig.
Proper gig booked.
She's out singing.
Booked and
Booked in.
requested. There's a guitar. Yeah. So proud. But anyway, it's memes.
Don't embarrass her.
All right.
Okay, so memes time.
Right, let me just ask your mum. What does meme mean to you now after 3 weeks?
It means a video or a photo that could mean two different things that are brought together in a humorous way.
Yeah.
It's not, I was impressed by that. That was good.
I've been listening.
You have?
Because, what is it? 1, 2, 3. Up there for thinking. Up.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So let's have a look at
So there's
Maddie's
this,
memes of the week.
so there's this thing on TikTok. You know TikTok. You've heard of TikTok.
Yeah.
There's this thing on TikTok where people put their phone, say, on the floor, and they'll cover, like, say, a makeup brush and glitter, and they'll knock it like this, and all the glitter pours onto the phone, and it looks really pretty.
Right.
But people have been taking, like, the mickey out of it and pouring loads of random stuff on their phone, saying it looks nice.
Oh, okay.
So first of all, this is one of the nice ones. These are Orbeez, which are little balls, colourful balls.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
But then people take the mickey out of it. So
this is really funny.
you've seen it with glitter, but have you seen it with my cat?
You know what would be funny? What's-its. You could do it with what's-its. Just
His finger.
Oh!
And then
Oh! You just tipped his girl out.
Yeah, but she's gone onto the bed. She's
no,
fine.
she's just jumped off.
Yeah, she's fine.
You know what I do?
What was that? My grandma. Oh no!
That's yours, isn't it, Maddie?
Spaghetti.
I know what we should
I would do cheesy what's-its.
I do an enormous.
Don't put that in. It's disgusting.
That is absolutely. I'm just trying to find.
Absolutely disgusting. Do not put that in.
Oh, this was from ages ago, but it's come back to the internet.
Oh, I know this.
Yeah, I got you. I got this on camera.
Babe, it's like you when you
It's
see
like
that,
toffee.
it's like you when you see that there's an arrow in.
It's so funny.
I love you, Mr. Bubs. Do you love me too? No? Oh, no. I think he loves me. Yeah, I got you. I got this on camera.
Just like you, Nat.
It's so funny. And then there's this, which is Billie Eilish performing, but they've done like a lip reading over it.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
I like these.
Big, big. What I say feel so criminal. It says, at the bad time, make your mama sad time, make your girlfriend sad time.
She's always out of breath on stage.
Is she? She was out of breath. She's known for that.
Got such a delicate voice. Listen. So funny.
I love that. So have you been looking for your own memes, Nadia Sawalha?
I have.
Have you?
I sent Maddie one the other day. Maddie, it was good, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, go and find
Maddie,
it.
didn't I send you a meme
Maddie,
the other
did Mum
day?
deliver on the meme front? You don't
I
know.
did.
Oh,
I
it
sent-
was the highlight of Mum's week.
I found a funny one. And you said it was funny. Okay, so this was my meme. Look.
Salut avec respect et gravité.
When your mum catches you
Les
sleeping
morts des
during
autres
church, it's
nations.
not close enough to pinch you.
La France.
That's very
salue
good.
avec respect et gravité. Les morts des autres nations.
Look at Mandania, she's not alive. Wake up!
La France.
Gotta give it
You
to
must
him, Nat.
admit. But look at this. So this was the message I sent Maddie. Oh, look, meme, like questioning whether it was a meme. Maddie, it's spelt meme, Mom.
That's really funny. Really funny.
I'm just trying to find stuff.
I was really proud of that meme. I thought it was a great
That's a
meme.
really good meme. Yeah, no, I'm actually quite shocked. I'm going to show my shocked face.
There's this film called White Chicks, which is a comedy. I think I've watched it with
Yeah,
you before.
yeah.
But it's two black guys basically that have to dress up like these two white girls
Yeah.
because the white girls they were supposed to be looking after don't want to go to this thing that they were supposed to protect them at. So in the film, they do this really funny thing where they go to this party and everybody's expecting, they're supposed to do this dance off and everybody's expecting them to be really bad, but because they're men, they do this like crazy like break dance sort of thing. Anyway, these two men dressed up and went on the subway and did the dance that they
my
do in the
God.
film.
I love the other guy's film.
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah.
Only
I
in
think so.
America.
It's literally how they do the dance in the film.
I want to do that. It's the kind of thing
Oh,
we
I
should
wish
do on-
things like that happened on the tube here.
I know.
Kristen, what the fuck, bro?
Okay, hold on.
you serious?
Don't move because you're gonna get it everywhere. Okay, come here so I can get it. It's wax, baby. Okay, let's try.
Listen, you fucking play too much, dude.
Okay,
I'm tired of your shit.
okay, well let me get it. Okay, wait.
Kristen, ow.
Okay, well let me
it
do
hurt.
it.
It hurt.
I can't get it.
He screamed.
Let's hear him again.
It.
Well, should we get him to try childbirth?
Hang on, that's so wonderful.
Have you seen this? Look at this. Look at the little girl.
Stop doing that. Why are you doing that? What's wrong with you?
Wait, watch.
What's wrong with you? Oh! Oh my gosh.
His reaction when it happens.
Stop doing that. Why are you doing that? What's wrong with you?
Wait, watch.
What's wrong with you? Oh!
It's like he's looking at the camera to come and sort it out.
I want to see one more. It's so funny.
Why are you doing that? What's wrong with you?
Watch his face, guys.
What's wrong with you? Oh!
Maddie used to. Do you remember Maddie used to vomit like that every
Yeah.
time she went into a swimming pool?
And into a swimming
She'd
pool.
come out and she'd go. "Brrr," and it was like the sound
and
of
people would be sitting
Satan.
around the pool and we'd be like,
Yeah.
oh,
And
just
we-
trying to catch it.
And we'd always have to
Sound
try
of
and
Satan.
sound of Satan, and we'd always have to try and find a palm tree pot that was
she
big
was
enough.
So adorably
She was beautiful.
pretty. And she's got a lovely little
Yeah.
swimming costume, which was just cute as
Yeah.
a button. And people have watched her all day, like toddling around the pool and playing with
She
it.
belched.
Like the Exorcist.
It was like the siren sound of an enormous foghorn, and then she'd vomit everywhere.
No, visual representation of what it's like falling for the wrong person, like falling in love with the wrong person.
Okay.
Did you hear her scream? Listen to her scream.
The mother in me is just going, where is that place?
Oh, that is a
And everyone's like, I don't know if you remember the game
Send me that,
Temple
please.
Run. Where
Yes.
you have to, everyone's like, she sounds like the gorillas in Temple
Yes.
Run.
Yeah. But that's such a funny.
Can you send me that one as well,
Nadia, that
please?
is
I
so
love that
funny.
so much.
Oh, there you go. Well, another
Fantastic.
another tip-top selection, man.
Oh, it really makes us laugh. It's so much fun. There's
Yeah.
so many funny films out there, guys, that we just don't even know how to find.
Or
but the
say.
kids do. Or say. Why don't you sit down with your teenagers and just say, make me laugh from the internet?
I have to say, Maddie, you've always loved it when your parents have given you the time to
Yeah,
just
because
watch what makes you chuckle.
It's really
Don't you?
easy
It
to
used
just
to be-
keep going in a minute. But we
Yeah.
actually sit down. Some of it, yeah, it doesn't make us laugh. It's a generational thing. But so often it really does make me laugh.
Yeah. High five my camera.
So clever.
Oh my God, that pizza that you did. It was smooth, it was soft, it was gooey, it was delicious, it was crisp, it was everything. It managed to be everything. Anyway, it's paper time. What's in the papers? Anything interesting?
Oh,
Weird
yes.
day? Yeah?
There's always something interesting.
Can I just say there's something really sexy about you with a highlighter pen and post-it notes. Suddenly all the sexiness has gone out the window. Okay, so it's the papers.
It's the papers.
It's the I love this because it was always Johnny Vaughan on The Big Breakfast who used to do the puntastic headlines. You'd always find a
Say that every week.
puntastic.
Go on, give us a puntastic
it's all
headline.
right. Corrie on snogging.
Oh my God.
Corrie on snogging.
That's a good one.
I mean, I couldn't give a toss about the actual people, or,
Well, actually,
or who's caught, or whether it's
but
significant
actually,
or
that
not.
is very, very
Is
good
it?
news because they are both huge stars
Oh.
on in Coronation Street.
Alison King and Mikey North.
And what I cannot believe is that they snogged in the NTAs and somebody got a photo of them. I mean, in the NTAs, and they're married. He's married.
Well, I know, but what a curiously
wife.
public place to do it.
I know, his poor wife. And then I think, I could be wrong, it says somewhere that they continued that in the party. And I just think, well, you know,
Well, they obviously want to be caught.
I do not agree in any way, shape or form with infidelity, but for God's sake, really, do you humiliate your wife like that?
Oh, I
So
see.
it can be seen
I was gonna
everywhere.
Say, so what should they have done? Should they have gone to one
Well,
of the
no, they
private
shouldn't,
booths?
shouldn't be
at the
doing it
NTA?
at all. If you're not happy in your marriage, then leave your marriage.
Cool.
But a subject very close to my heart, if you follow me on Instagram and you ever
Let me
watch
see
me
if I
on
can
Loose
guess.
Women,
Cake.
cellulite.
Oh, it's kind of related though.
It does make me laugh so much. This is the picture, so let me show you the picture first. There she is.
Crikey, who's that?
Vogue, my cellulite troll agony. Vogue Williams is hoping to ring the changes as she reveals all about her battles with online body shaming and then goes on about online body shaming, which of course is awful. But you know,
Is her name Vogue?
yeah, Vogue Williams, she's married. And she has, actually, people have been really horrid to her. But I just don't think it helps the cause when somebody doesn't show their cellulite and yet is upset about their cellulite, because it makes us women that have terrible cellulite feel so much worse.
So you're saying she should have the courage of her convictions
you are
and show
a goddess. You are a goddess.
I can't see any cellulite. Oh, well, that's your point.
That's my point.
I'm more flabbergasted by her name, Vogue. As in
Vogue,
the dance.
Vogue,
Come on,
Vogue,
can you Vogue?
Vogue, 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 Vogue. Vogue with us at home. Come on, get up.
Come
It
on.
might be the only exercise
Strike
you have
a pose.
today. Strike a pose. Strike a pose.
I like this one because the headline is kind of funny, but I had the privilege many years ago and the strangeness of interviewing Karl Lagerfeld, the fashion.
How strange was he on a...
Well, he didn't say anything.
If 100 is the most strange. Well, he didn't say anything.
Well, he attached a microphone to him and he didn't say a word. He talked through his assistant.
Who do these people think they
But
are?
Lagerfeld reportedly left a huge fortune to his cat.
Oh,
What's
I knew that.
new, pussycat? Whoa,
whoa, whoa.
What's new, pussycat? But anyway, world's richest cat has hit, listen to this, for a fantastic social meowdia.
Oh, that's a good one.
Social meowdia.
Social meowdia.
And I loved Karl Lagerfeld's comment. Obviously, he was talking to someone he was willing to talk to. He's described the cat as being peaceful, funny, fun and gracious. She's pretty to look at, has good poise, but her main quality is she doesn't talk. And she has an agent, this cat, and apparently she's one of the most amenable models they've ever had in their history on their books. She's
Really?
agreeable, she doesn't throw fits.
Do you think because she doesn't have money worries?
She has no money worries at all, and apparently her fortune is purring along with the release
Oh, I
of
like
a photo
that.
album coming
Oh, well
through.
done.
So
That's a
Karl
good-
Lagerfeld's cat, that's a goodie, isn't it?
I've got quite a good, fantastic
Oh,
one.
do it.
Nepalling.
Oh, I like that.
So
let me guess, something awfully appalling.
that
on
happened in Nepal. So
Yeah.
TV tough guy, Ant Middleton, he is the guy on SAS Wins,
Yeah.
the chief instructor.
Yeah.
And he went on this Everest challenge. In his new book, I think he reveals that he cheats.
Oh, is this a bit of a Bear Grylls moment?
Yeah, because he says in his new book, he took a boozy break in Nepal.
Right.
Yeah, he said, for the first time in a month, there were no cameras pointing at me, no schedule bearing down on me, and no alpha male politics to negotiate. So he checked himself into the best hotel that he could, well, the best hotel in the area, with king-size beds and electric blankets. He paid £1,500 for a private helicopter to Namche Bazaar, a village 12,000 feet closer to sea level, and just lived it up for a couple of days, got smashed out of his brains till 2 a.m. for the next couple of days. Apparently the hangover was dozens of times worse because of the effects of the altitude.
Is that where the Nepalling comes from? I feel
That's-
Nepalling.
Just appalling. So then after a particular 3 a.m. booze up on the final night of his
Yeah.
stay, he flew back to base camp,
Right.
where he then tried to hide the fact that he'd been boozing from the crew and everything.
Right.
I mean, obviously the man has a huge problem with alcohol.
He must do if he's
Yeah.
flying off to go and booze up.
So interestingly, none of this was mentioned
Yeah.
on the series, on the show,
Right.
1.2 million viewers.
Right.
But he nearly died coming back down. He did reach the summit after a fierce storm blew in. Now, other mountaineers have said that they're furious about this.
Why?
It's not something you can make light of.
Oh.
It's not funny. It could have been disastrous.
What, his behaviour?
Yeah.
What,
And if-
drinking and all that?
Yeah, because I remember just our trek in the Himalayas, there was no alcohol.
Well, I remember I was drinking in the Andes and I engaged in a ridiculous 100-metre sprint and nearly died. I mean, it was ridiculous.
But that was just like horseplay to actually
Yeah,
go.
no, exactly.
And they said, something had happened to his team.
Yeah.
I just think that was a really foolish thing to put in a book.
I like this as a fantastic headline. Carbon footprints. Get it? Carbon footprints?
Oh, that's good.
Carbon footprint. I think that's a
I'm
goodie.
surprised that hasn't come up before.
Yeah, carbon footprints.
All the carbon
and it's
stuff.
basically, Eco Charles flying around the globe in a helicopter to talk about emissions.
I like Charles.
I like Charles.
I don't
This
like
is all like
having
that
a go at
flight
Charles.
shaming. What do you think about flight shaming?
I think he does a lot of good stuff as well.
Yeah.
He's a bit
tell you-
free and loose with his diesel cars. And
But
his-
something else I noticed they've done in the papers, I just want to show this. Are there photo editors trying to do something by pushing the red in his skin?
Oh, for goodness
They're
sake.
clearly trying to infer through colour that he's a raging alky.
No.
They are. I know
Well, he's not. He's
I
very
know he's
healthy.
not. I know he's not. And I think that's what they're trying to do there. I think it's unforgivable.
This is a good headline. By Eck.
By Eck.
Now, this is a story around the Tamara Eccleston raid. Do you remember it happened just around Christmas when there was a £50 million raid on her house? Remember?
My God.
She never had a job.
Right, okay.
Because her dad's, who's the guy with the racing? Brian Eccleston?
No, Bernie Eccleston.
Bernie Eccleston.
Still doesn't mean she deserves to be
Oh, God, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that she had 50 million's worth of stuff.
Oh, I know.
No, God, no. It's
No.
just as bad. Doesn't matter how wealthy you are. Horrendous. But they have, the police have arrested a woman and her son, or is it her brother? Yeah, anyway. And when they arrested her, she had the £300,000 earrings in her ears, the cleaner.
You're joking?
Yeah. So I love this, that she's nicked them,
Worn
the cleaner, but she's not sold them, she's wearing
She's
them.
worn them.
I wonder if once when she was cleaning the house, she put them on.
That's really funny.
Because I know, oh God, I was just about to say who it was, but a very big star was saying to me how she caught her cleaners when she was out of LA on camera, dressed up in all her clothes and putting her jewellery on, and she brought all the family and friends round to the house as well, and they were all putting her clothes and jewellery
Bloody
on.
hell.
And I wonder if she tried this on and thought, do you know what? I've got to have them.
Oh, right, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, got to have, when you've got to have them, you've got to have them. Funnily enough, I do that when you're out with all of your clothes. Sticking with criminality, I quite like this. Pot noodles, see if you can deduce what the story is here. Pot noodles become the spice of life.
Oh.
Pot noodles become the spice of lifers. Spice of lifers.
Lifers. Oh, I think you needed the lifers
Sorry, yeah.
for the title.
Pot noodle becomes
the spice of
lifers.
lifers. So is this prisoners chomping
So
on down?
basically, inmates smuggle drugs in snack. Criminals are in hot water for smuggling £120,000 worth of drugs into jail in pot noodles.
Oh,
Yeah.
ingenious.
Pot noodles become the spice of lifers. I like that one. That's quite funny.
Ingenious.
So that's
You know,
the...
years ago I did a show in a prison, a
Yeah.
live show in a prison, and all the things that I found out, that the ingenious ways that prisoners would get things in. I thought, do you know what I mean? It made me kind of sad because I thought just by the luck of how you're born, because a lot of these people haven't had the best start.
Oh, right.
They're obviously really, really smart.
Yes.
Obviously, because
Yeah.
you couldn't think of these things in a million years.
So what you're
but just
saying
didn't
is
have
you
the
were
same chance.
absolutely impressed by their ingenuity and
I was.
inventiveness. Yeah.
Oh, look, this reminded me of Toffee. Mindful dog Lucky. A dog fell 70 foot down a disused
my
tin mine
God.
shaft and escaped unhurt.
Wow.
Bo, a German Shepherd Cross, is said to have bounced to a soft landing at the bottom of the shaft. I'm convinced that would be Toffee. Toffee is indestructible.
Yeah, she really is.
Don't you think?
She's made of rubber.
Have you got a dog like that? Leave us a comment if
I
you've
like
got some
this
good
story.
dog stories.
I've gone for a number of criminal stories today. Punter, I've been Pablo Escobar.
Oh, that's good.
Right? So this guy has been turned away by the bookies because his name is Pablo Escobar.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he was
The
given the
famous
name by his
cartel.
parents, a famous cartel Colombian drug lord. It's ridiculous. They say it's not a recognised name or think I'm having a laugh. And just because it's his name,
Oh my
he
God.
cannot place a bet. I've been Pablo Escobar.
That's a good one. Just a quick little one here. We all love the Bake Off. Well, Mark doesn't, but we all love the Bake Off here. Joanna Lumley, it is rumoured, and Joe Brand are the front runners to host it. Apparently, they are vying to replace Sandy Togsvig.
I think they're having a
Now,
fight.
Who would you prefer?
Joe Brand.
Would you?
Yeah.
I think I'd quite like Joanna Lumley because we've got Joe Brand on the one in.
Yeah, I think she needs to be promoted. I love Joe
But-
Brand.
Yeah, I've got a bit weary of that deadpan sort of moany thing.
Yeah, but, you know, I got a bit weary of Joanna Lumley at the BAFTAs.
Yeah, she gets a bit worthy, but I think she'd have fun because she's very funny.
She's
I
probably
think
a
she'd
better
have-
choice. I think she
she'd
might
have
liven it
fun
up.
on the Bake Off. Leave
Yeah.
your comments below, guys.
Yeah, what do you
Tell us
think?
what do you
Yeah,
think?
that's a good one. We
Yeah.
might do that as a poll
Yeah.
somewhere. I love this one. This headline, very simple, is this. Bog off. And why is it called bog off?
I don't know.
Because lardy patients are now being told not
That's
to
the
sit on
headline,
hospital
lardy
loos.
patients.
Yeah, fat patients over 19
my
stone
God.
are
Oh
not
my
allowed
God.
to use public toilets in hospitals. This is the new rule.
You are kidding me. They
toi-
can't say that.
This toilet has a maximum weight limit of 19 stone. So you're not allowed to use it if you're overweight. What I was curious about was, how do they enact this?
Good God, I'm quite shocked.
How would you go? I know now people with weight issues are being asked to only use toilets which only have a breaking strain of 32 stone.
God, there it is, the
Yeah,
sign.
warning was put up in the men's loo at the Buckland Hospital in Dover, Kent. Lardy patients told not to sit on a hospital loo.
What do you do if you're dying for the loo? Are they asking them to squat over
You need
it?
to go to a toilet that can bear your weight. How do you find that out? And if you're desperate,
Hopefully they give an alternative toilet with a map
maybe.
and a golf cart.
But
to
I tell
get
you what, I'd
there
like to know
fast.
is how do they enforce this? So say you go in and sit on
Imagine
a
if
loo
you're
and it
that-
breaks. I know. Anyway, so
Oh
it was
my-
just a curious one, that one.
But I'm just feeling for people that
Yeah.
are that, because
They're
I
struggling.
passionately believe that people who are obese should have kindness, not
Yes.
made of ridicule and told that they're greedy. People that overeat to that extent are suppressing pain. We know that.
No,
Just like with
we
alcohol or
absolutely know
anything
that.
else.
But
I think
te-
that's shocking.
It is shocking, but I mean they're coming from a position that toilets are breaking.
Well, yeah.
Toilets are
I
breaking. They
suppose
need
you
to be
can-
repaired.
This is quite funny. Bunny. Poth and Bex.
Poth and Becks.
Poth and Beck.
I like
so you can
that,
guess
Poth
what this
and
is
Beck.
about. So
it
Victoria went and had all this new dental work, £30,000 worth. She went to the best dentist in LA.
Right.
And had her veneers and gums seen to.
Fabulous.
But the problem was, and you get this a lot when you
Yeah.
get this sometimes when guests come on Loose Women, and you think, oh shit, you've had your teeth done.
Yeah.
Could your teeth have
Teeth.
changed place?
Right.
It's like this has moved.
Poth
this
and
tooth.
Beck.
And I've got I stumble over
Yes.
certain
Yeah,
lispy
no,
words.
I know.
Anyway, so she had a lisp.
Oh.
And a very pronounced one. And David and the kids just wouldn't stop taking the mick. Now, it was very, very serious. Victoria was seething, couldn't record any unedited YouTube or Instagram videos because she was left feeling incredibly self-conscious. I've met her. She's so lovely and so funny. I'm sure that they had a good gig.
But do you know what they were doing?
What?
Taking the pith.
So imagine you pay £14 million for the house where Sex and the City was filmed.
Yes.
And then your life is made an absolute misery because swarms and swarms of people are all coming there to take their Instagram
That
photos.
would be a
But
nightmare.
they've got photos of people actually climbing over the private
Right.
property. Wouldn't that piss
Wouldn't
you
that
off?
that would be really annoying,
You
yeah.
paid
Yeah.
14 million. Have we got time for this quick one? Do you want
Yes,
to do
far
that?
away. What is it?
So now nurses are told all these things that they can no longer use. So you can no longer call people ladies, which I love. I hate it at Loose Women. They say, could the ladies come to the studio? I hate it. I love this because I hate being called a lady.
It does make me think
A
of
lady.
Little Britain.
Yeah.
Ladies.
So you can't, this is even on the notes,
Right.
medical notes. You cannot call somebody an alcoholic. They have to be an alcohol misuser. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I kind of understand that.
Yeah, because if somebody
Yeah.
hasn't come to
Yeah,
terms,
yeah, yeah.
you can't say manned, you have to say staffed.
Fair enough.
You can't say mankind, you just have to say humankind.
Chair.
You can't say chairman or chairperson, it has to be chair.
I don't agree with this one. Don't say pensioner OAP.
Yeah.
Do say elderly. I find elderly
No,
is
no, you're not allowed to just call them elderly. You have to say elderly woman or elderly women or older people.
No, that's ladies, woman, women. That relates to that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're allowed to say older people or elderly. And I think elderly is, I don't like the word elderly.
Have we got anyone elderly here?
Yeah.
Leave a comment. What
I
would
don't
you
know
prefer?
why.
And just a very last quick one, because this is my very dear friend Hannah,
This woman rocks.
who I trekked with in the Himalayas, and you will have seen the film that Mark made with 4 of the women I trekked with. Hannah is the most beautiful soul inside out. She poor bloody Hannah. She has had some really shit luck. She got breast cancer very early, had a mastectomy. Here she is looking so beautiful in You magazine.
Stunning.
Modelling mastectomy. Please follow her, Hannah
Modelling a
_
mastectomy bra.
Sorry, I'm really rushing. Follow her on Instagram and Hannah _27, and she is 5 months pregnant, I think now, and apparently the doctors call it a true miracle. It was not supposed to happen.
Wow.
So I just wanted to say.
Okay, and one last one from me. Pedestrians and e-scooters. Pedestrians will face danger if e-scooters get road approval. Apparently, countless cities across Europe, we were in Berlin, they have e-scooters. Should we have e-scooters on our roads? I'd like to know what you think. What do you think? It's a huge environmental bonus. Okay.
That's it for now.
That's it for now.
Bye.
Bye. Hey guys, tree's gone. Tree's gone. Nadia Sawalha off the telly.
Oh yeah, the tree is gone. Look how clean and tidy the kitchen is.
Do you have any comprehension where we are in the show right now?
No idea.
Do you know where we're going? Do you know where we've been?
We're going to memes with the kids.
No. Done that. What are we up
Kardashian
to?
corner.
No, that's something new that's either happened or coming.
Newspapers.
Just come off of those. You've literally just sat over there and done
I
it.
haven't got
It's your pudding. What's the pudding of the
pudding.
week? Munch bunch. Munch lunch. Munch brunch.
Lemon, blueberry cheesecake.
Why are you saying it like that?
I don't know.
Is it Italian?
Could be.
What, because
If
there's
I'd used-
lemon in it?
If I'd used ricotta, it would have been more Italian. But I used
Okay.
Philadelphia, so I suppose it's quite Southland.
This is a corker. This is a corker. We had to throw it away. It was so good.
I threw it away. Hello, good morning.
Why are you saying it like that?
I was doing it like I was on telly. And today I'm going to be cooking for you. But it's just you lot. I don't need to do all that bollocks. So I am making a lemon blueberry vanilla cheesecake. Okay, so first things first. I always add a few ginger nuts to my digestive biscuits for a better base.
Base.
Biscuit base, a buttery biscuit base. Now, I've got 8 digestives and 4 gingers. But you could use just all gingers and you could use all digestives. So it's about, I would say about 160, 170 grams if you want to weigh it. You can put it in a processor. You can put the biscuits in a processor. I don't think, personally, I've tried this lots of different ways. I think it's better in a bag because you don't want it ground really, really fine. So if you're good at controlling your blitzer, then control your blitzer. But also, I quite like doing this in the bag. I'll tell you why. Because it was one of the first jobs I was allowed to do as a kid in the kitchen. I remember my mum always used to swear and shout a lot when she was making a cheesecake. It is a little bit faffy, but I thought as it's Sunday, let's make a proper New York cheesecake that we bake. Are you happy with that?
I am.
Just might do a little bit more. Those bits are a little bit big. I don't agree with this philosophy. You know, often you see on cookery shows, oh, you can take out all your feelings on the steak, bang the steak, thin the chicken, smash the cheesecake biscuits. That is not an option for me because I think you want to put love into food. So if I'm doing something really nice, say I've got people coming over for lunch or I'm making it like this for you guys, honest to God, this is the honest to God truth. I have the people in my mind that I'm cooking for. Obviously, if I'd been cleverer than this, I could have saved on my bowlage and melted my butter in a much bigger pan, and then I could have put the biscuits in. So that's what I'd advise you to do.
Let's see your melted butter.
So
How
I've
much?
got 90 grams of melted butter, and I'm going to pour that in. Oh God, isn't it? I think there's something beautiful about golden butter being poured onto golden biscuits. Like, oh yum! So there you go. You see, I've got some little lumps. You don't want anything too big because that could crack your base. Right, to that I'm going to add half a tablespoon-ish, just half a tablespoon of sugar, whatever sugar you like. Okay, so I've lined my tin. I made it a bit bigger and then squished the loose bottom into it so it comes through like that. And you must use a spring form for a cheesecake, otherwise it's a bugger to get it out. Lots of butter around the edge. So I've got my sugar nicely mixed in now, and then I just simply put it into my base. Are you ready, Mark? And I'm just gonna pour that in. Oh my God, still want to eat all those leftover bits now, the spoon. Okay, so very important that you really, really squish it down. Because this I'm going to blind bake. What does blind bake mean, Mark?
Use strange little beads to bake it.
No.
To put pressure down on
Oh, well,
it.
you would if that was a pastry, yeah. But blind bake means you're baking it without anything on it.
With a blindfold.
So we're just going to... Right, now I always... Oh, let me just take my rings off. Don't worry, I've washed my hands. I always get in there like this and really squish it down. Okay. Right, see how hard I'm pressing that down, because we want that really compacted so it doesn't all crumble away. So that is now going into the oven at 180 degrees for about about 12 minutes, 12, 15 minutes.
Where's your blindfold?
And it's blinded. It's going in
Where's
there
your
blind.
blindfold?
Blind with nothing on it.
Oh.
Okay, don't show them the oven, Mark. I always tell him not to show you the inside of the oven. So now Kiki has joined the feeding frenzy with the biscuits. So finishing off the digestives. So any minute now that's going to ping because my biscuit base will be ready. So I'm just giving this a bit of a stir. In here I've got 900 grams of full fat cream cheese. Don't even think about using a light one. It won't work. So I'm going to add now my lemon zest. And I just think, because with all the whisking and everything that goes on, it really releases more of the oils of the lemon into the cheesecake. So, unwaxed lemon, washed. You don't want to use a waxed lemon. Make sure you buy unwaxed because otherwise you're going to be eating wax. So, just very lightly, watch closely how I'm doing this. I'm scraping and turning because you do not want to go past that bit. Oh my God, when I see people grating like that, I think, oh, it's going to be disgusting because that's the bitter, horrible stuff. You just want, oh Mark, smell that. He says to me, Grise. He says to me, the south of France. I just, Provençal, Mediterranean.
Irritating waiters.
Love it, love it. And of course, what's so nice, as I said at the beginning, is when you've got a bit of lemon in your cheesecake, it takes some of the fat out. Biscuit base. Go back, biscuit base.
What?
Base, biscuit base.
Buttery biscuit base.
Okay, that's lovely. Go on, Maddie, give us a blast of it.
Like a biscuit base, like a buttery biscuit base.
Say what?
So I'm just turning my oven up, not fan, conventional, to 220 to bake my cheesecake. Right. Don't show them that. It's so annoying. We didn't have a bloody thing put in this
Don't
bit.
show them what?
This. It's very dangerous. Don't show them it. I'm getting excited now. And this really reminds me of my mum's kitchen. My mum used to use a lot of lemon. My mum's a brilliant cook. So a teaspoon. We'll see how we go. We'll see how lemony it smells. So put my whisk in. Right, so I've got 250 grams of caster sugar. I can just feel Mark's excitement now. When we were in America one year, we were in this diner and we ordered a cheesecake milkshake. Anyway, he goes over to the bar, the guy, we couldn't have been more shocked, and gets this massive slice of New York cheesecake and puts it into the blender with some milk, and that was it. In we go. Now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of plain flour. One big teaspoon of vanilla. Wow, the smell in here now, guys. Oh, okay, it needs a little scrape down. It's what I always say to the girls when they're cooking. Don't forget that scrape down. Now, I'm going to add 3 whole eggs and 1 extra egg yolk. Oh, look at that now. Now we got a cheesecake coming. 200 mils of sour cream. You don't want to overbeat it now, just a little whisk. And it's ready. But I just want to wait for my biscuit base to cool down a bit, so we'll see in a minute. Oh, Mark! Oh my God, you won't believe what I've done. I've used effing wrong tin.
Of what?
Sorry.
Wrong tin of what?
I should have used my high tin.
Oh.
Okay. So we're just going to put in as much of the filling as we can and maybe make a second cheesecake.
What do you mean?
Well, because I should have used my deep tin. Right, okay, let's see how much of it we can get in here. So that's really nice and cold now. You don't want to put this in when the tin is hot or when this is hot. I actually popped it in the freezer for 5 minutes. Really nice and hard. You don't want to bash it about too much now because you want an airy, you want a lightness, so you don't want to over whisk it. There we go. Oh, everyone can breathe a sigh of relief. It fitted.
Let's call this cheesecake Cinderella.
I'm just going to smooth that a little. Oh, just give it a little shake. I'm going to cook it at 220 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to turn it down to 10 degrees centigrade and cook it for 45 minutes. If you haven't got it now, there's something wrong with you. So the cheesecake is out. It's been in the fridge overnight. Now, you might need to leave it for longer than over the night. It really does depend how packed full your fridge is. So I've got 230 grams of blueberries thereabouts. A couple of tablespoons of sugar. You can put less if you want. You can just put 1 tablespoon. Actually, that looks quite a lot. 1.5. A tablespoon of corn flour, flat tablespoon. Okay. Couple of teaspoons of water, and then I'm just going to cook that down for a bit so we get a nice sort of blueberry
A compote.
and just let it just cook down for a bit. Just going to put a teeny bit. It's about 2 to 3 teaspoons of water, I would say. I'm definitely going to write this recipe up for you though, guys, because it is a bit complicated. If your cheesecake tends to crack, a good idea is to put your a tin of water into the oven with you, so that into the oven with the cheesecake, because it creates steam and keeps a more constant temperature.
Well,
I don't mind a crack, but some people hate it. Just a little bit. And now I can see it's a little bit too sticky, so I'm adding a little bit more water. I looked at it and I thought, I want it to be more blueberry than that. So I added another 100 grams of blueberry. So what I'm going to do is write that really specifically down, because that'd be confusing for you. But now I'm just going to let that cool. Really important you let it cool, because if I pour it on that cheesecake now, it will melt the cheesecake. So I'll see you in a minute. Oh, look at it. Oh, I did quite a bit more water actually. So again, I will write this all down. So just going to pour that on top of the cheesecake. You're having a little heart attack here, Mark, because that looks so beautiful.
Yeah, that's great.
Did I keep pouring? Ooh. Coming over. Ooh, get the shot. Yeah, food porn. Food porn. Bloody gorge. But honestly, if that is too much faff, go to the main channel and I've got a lovely no-bake cheesecake there. It's quite difficult to say. Mark, try and say no-bake cheesecake.
No-bake cheesecake.
Say it faster.
No-bake cheesecake.
Faster.
Cheesecake baking.
You at home, try it.
No-bake cheesecake. What are we going to now?
Let's go to the book review.
Oh yeah, it's NADIA this
Yeah,
week.
book review.
All right.
Ta-da!
It's that time again where we discuss the book of the week, and here is our diminutive Nanny Di standing in front of a rather fabulous looking cheesecake over there. All makes sense.
Standing tall.
Standing tall. And what is the book of this week? She tends to go for more classic books, which is what we like.
And also some people might say a little depressing. I don't mean to.
No, yeah, well, 1984, depressing, but kind of, depressing's good. And the
Okay.
book of the week is Waiting for the Barbarians by, how do you pronounce his surname?
Well, that's the other thing, is how on earth do you say his surname?
J.M. Coetzee.
Coetzee, I think.
South African writer, right? So he's South African, isn't he? I studied
is.
him at college. So why have you plucked this from the ether for our lovely followers this week?
Well, it was next to my bed as a book that I should reread. I read it ages ago.
You all
years
need
ago.
to read it because it's next to Nan's bed.
And he used to be very, very big, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I mean, he won the Nobel Prize, as it says on here.
Yeah.
I think he's won the Booker... No, he's not won the Booker twice. He might have done.
Yeah,
Anyway, he's a big deal.
But what's it about? What's this book about?
Now, what this one's about is And what I like about it, but hopefully you will agree, is that it's set in an unnamed place at an unnamed time. Everybody in it isn't given names; they're just given their characters. So there's a
It's a
commander,
bit Kafkaesque then, in that
very
sense.
Kafkaesque,
Yeah.
and also a bit sort of Waiting for Godot, in that everybody's waiting for something that we
Right.
never know whether it's going to happen or not.
Right.
There's a commander in charge of a garrison, let's say, a load
Yeah.
of people who are keeping guard on a camp, and they're keeping guard on it so that the barbarians, who are just called the barbarians, we never know who they are, we never know what they represent, how many of them are there, but they're
So it's a
outside
sense
the
of the
gates.
other.
The other.
So
The
a little
other
bit like
around
my
there.
book that I recommended last week by John Lanchester. They're called The
Yeah.
Other Outside the Wall.
It's very like that, actually.
Oh, right, that's interesting.
And
Set in Africa, set in a notional Africa.
a notional Africa, we don't really know
Right.
that, but one presumes so. It was written at around the time just after apartheid, so presumably he was making reference to
yes.
that. Now people are saying it speaks to that whole thing of sort of the whole world trying to move away from war and whatever, and moving across the globe and having to leave all their possessions and moving into other people's land. And,
Yes.
and that's essentially what it's talking about, is because we never know what these
Barbarians are.
who the barbarians are, but also even more crucially, we never know what the so-called civilized people, the commander and the magistrate. It's called the magistrate, the main person.
So it follows the magistrate, his
follows
story.
the magistrate. We never know what it is actually they're defending. We never know that. And very cleverly, he sort of just says, well, we don't want this lot coming in here. That's how you can see the analogy with today. We don't want that lot coming in here because it's ours, but we never know actually what ours is.
Oh, a little bit like Brexit then.
Very, very
Yeah,
much. It does. It does really sort of resonate today.
Right, okay. And it presumably, I mean, I remember reading it years ago, and I seem to remember his story was almost a bit sort of, Kurtz in Heart of Darkness.
Yeah.
He sort of finds himself within an ever deepening crisis of isolation, imprisonment, and endangerment, doesn't he?
And faith, in a way, because you
Yes.
never really know. He doesn't mind doing what he's doing as long as he knows what it's for. And
Right.
increasingly it becomes obvious he doesn't know what it's for, and nobody can tell him.
So he's an idealist
Yeah.
trying to save a people that he doesn't know who they are, and he doesn't know what his ideals really represent.
No.
Wow.
He knows that the one thing he knows and that he witnesses and that he's not at all happy about is that the way that the civilized people that he's in charge of keep control is that if any of these so-called barbarians wander into the camp, they're treated incredibly cruelly. They're
Right.
tortured, they're killed, but in the most horrible way.
So is it about the universality of oppression
Yeah.
and being oppressed, and who
Yeah.
the oppressor, and how the oppressor, presumably the magistrate, can also become the oppressed?
Yeah. Although he doesn't. Well, he doesn't actually commit any atrocities. He sits on the sidelines and watches.
It'd be like Farage suddenly realising he'd made a huge mistake and deciding to try and help those poor immigrants on the boats,
Yeah.
rather than just telling them to go back.
Yeah.
And sort of befriending one of them and potentially marrying one of them and having a relationship, and then sort of saying, I want to find out why we've oppressed you.
Yes, except that's completely fantastical. But
Well,
yes,
no,
yes.
absolutely, yeah. But, okay,
Yeah.
and quick to read, easy to read?
It is. It's dense.
Yeah.
It's like a very thick, it's
quite a
plum
thin
pudding.
book. Yeah, right, okay, yeah. It's
But
not long.
It is, but it's sort of it's dense. You sort of
Yeah.
you get to grips with what he's trying to say, and it's very powerful.
Right.
Very powerful.
Okay, and I would also say, Jem Coetzee, if you've never read anything by him, he is one of the leading literary giants.
He
so
is.
a quick and, not easy, but a quick
No.
way in maybe to his writing.
Yeah.
Well, you've made me want to revisit it, so thanks for that.
Good.
Yeah,
and,
there you
and,
go.
and I hope you enjoy it. Maybe
Yes.
enjoy isn't the right word, but
Let
I
us
hope
know.
you feel it's worthwhile.
Now we know this is a favourite part of the show for you, Teddy Talks time. We've been on a knife's edge all week as to whether Teddy would do Teddy Talks, because he's been recording a radio play, and he did a 10-hour shift yesterday, so the poor bugger's knackered.
Yeah.
But he's come, true professional,
Yeah.
he's come to do his Teddy Talks.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. So Mark, director, ask him the question.
So Teddy's Talks is...
Well, I'd like to tell you how I became an actor.
Oh, goody.
When I was a little boy, I was very shy.
painfully shy, and very glum. And my mother would say, she used to call me the, what's that animal, with the...
Clam.
Huh?
Clam?
No, the bigger, 4 legs.
4 legs.
Bear? Lion?
No,
Cat?
as soon as it sees a stranger, the head goes inside.
Oh, a turtle.
Tortoise. And a tortoise. I think.
Oh, a tortoise.
She used to say, "You're a tortoise."
Oh.
And she said, "You're finished."
Oh.
Honest to God. Say, "You have no future." Because every stranger that passes by, you go and hide.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And you don't smile. Smile. If you don't smile, if you don't mix with people, you're finished.
Oh.
So I thought, what can I do, Mum? She said, go out, meet people, mix. Look, there's a drama group in the church, and they're going to do a play for Christmas. Devils, they said, and angels. Go and have a look. Your Uncle Joseph is playing the devil, and he gets chucked in the fire. I said, does he?
But you're not keen on Uncle Joseph.
So I went, and because I was shy, I couldn't go in, so I watched through the keyhole. There was movement inside, people coming in and out, and then I saw a couple of soldiers, Roman soldiers, leading Uncle Joseph. And the fire flamed and disappeared. And down he went. And I thought, that's good.
I fancy a bit
It's a
of that.
good game, this theatre. I mean, if you can have a fire every day and chuck in somebody you don't like, it would be a wonderful game. So I created my own theatre company. That's it. And from there on, people noticed that I was very keen. I was moving.
What age were you?
I was about 12, 13.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I went to England to study theatre at the age of 19.
Yeah.
And I remember my mother telling me, and learn how to smile. Get after yourself, learn how to smile. And I went to England. I thought, I'm going to learn smiling here. Do you go to England to learn smiling? I don't know. Anyway, so I spent 3 years in England studying theatre and learning how to smile. And
Go on,
then,
give us your best smile now.
the what?
Give us your best smile. Look at the gnashes on that.
So that's the story, really. How
It was your mum. So your mum nudged you. Your mum.
Oh,
For
she was,
shyness, though, not
For
to be an actor.
shyness.
she was very worried about me. Yeah,
I never knew you were shy.
I
Look
wa-
what we managed to find out from Teddy Talks.
I know.
I didn't know you used to be shy.
Oh, I was. It was terrible. It was painful. And
Was
I
it?
think, after a while, I agreed with my mother that I have to fight this out.
Wow.
Yeah. And now, at my age, I'm beginning to be shy again.
Really? Oh, that's interesting.
I'm enjoying it.
Oh, nice.
And nobody's worried about me now.
I sometimes
Do what you like.
I sometimes wonder whether shyness is a part of an actor. Many actors talk about shyness, don't they?
So many actors I've interviewed are so shy.
Yes, well, I think the innate nature of man is one of shyness and modesty.
Yes.
And then the pressures of society
Yeah.
force us out. So
Very
we
true.
fight our way out. And then in old age, we go
Retreat.
back to the original state, I think.
So would your mum say that you're becoming a tortoise again?
If she were around, I'm sure she would.
In the nicest way.
Yes.
So you went
Yes.
tortoise, lion, tortoise.
Tortoise, lion, half a tortoise now.
It's got a little nose is still sticking out of the shell. That's my tortoise face, in case you didn't know.
So there you go, guys. Episode 4. Can you believe we've almost been doing this a month? Well, we have been doing it a
Oh my
month.
God, that's
Yeah, a month.
crazy.
4 episodes.
Oh, we're loving doing it.
We love doing it. Let us know what you think. Coming up on the main channel, though, we've got all sorts of still to
Got a
come.
vlog
Vlogs, showbiz. There's a couple of Kardashian stories coming. We were toying with having Kardashian Corner in the Sunday show, but we're not entirely sure there are enough Kardashian fans.
If you warn them, they'll say they don't want it. And remember, it's me that likes doing the Kardashians.
So she might insist on us doing a Kardashian Corner. I'm going to go and try and retrieve the cheesecake from the food extractor over there. So I'm going to put my hand in and pull out the rest of the biscuit base, buttery biscuit base.
And I'm going to write up that recipe and
Okay.
post it on here just for you guys, because I did sort of change some of the ingredients.
Can we go back and do that strange sort of position for two? It's quite nice.
No! 1, 2, 3, everybody. March!